Hello once again everyone and welcome to Cruznik's Purgatory. I'm your host Cruznik X, alongside me the beautiful Arya Stormborn.
Hey,
Well, it's been a long and grueling. How many jobs did I do before I even did this quest line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quests before I even decided to do this one. And we actually leveled up this character. We actually leveled up this job for the entire Shadowbringers storyline. I've been saving one of the best for close to last. And one of my favorite jobs, and actually my main job right now. But tonight we are going to be finally doing the level 80 quest for Path of the Dark Knight in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. First off, let's show off the actual gear. Now, I showed this off originally back in a previous episode when I was doing the main storyline. But now we've got the gear. This is the Weathered Bale gear, in its entirety, with Solarets, Flanchard, Gauntlets, Cuirass, and Bourgeonet, along with the level 80 artifact weapon, the Weathered Shadowbringer. And I gotta say, I am loving this sword. There are parts that I could take or leave. I'm definitely not a big fan of the helm. Only because, I don't know, it has that kind of Batman feel to it that I just do not care for at all. And so I will be doing without it throughout this entire storyline, this entire quest. Now, let's not waste any time on my laments for gear and talk about actions, because a lot of stuff has changed in Shadowbringers. First and foremost, as I've said on multiple Path of videos, the TP gauge has been removed due to the new battle system, and honestly I could not be happier, because it means not having to worry about my tech point gauge. But yeah, there's been a huge revamp and revision to roll actions. Tanks now have 7 roll actions, as opposed to the melee DPS is 6, or the melee and range DPS 6, the caster DPS 4, and the healer's 6 actions. Now, first and foremost, in conjunction with the removal of TP, oh yeah, sorry, I'm thinking of other abilities. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about what we have lost in terms of tank roll actions. First and foremost, ultimatum, anticipation, awareness, and convalescence have been removed. And honestly, I would have loved to have kept convalescence, only because that increased the potency of healing spells cast on you. But hey, I'm sure the devs know what they're doing somehow. Let's move on to what we still have. First and foremost, at level 8, we have Rampart, which is now a 90-second recast time, and it still reduces damage by 20% for 20 seconds. At level 12, we've got Low Blow with a 25-second recast time that stuns the target for a duration of 5 seconds. Level 15, we still have Provoke, a 25 yalm range, 30-second recast time that places yourself at the top of a target's and aggro list while generating additional enmity. At level 18, we gain the ability Interject that has a 3 yalm range, 30-second recast that interrupts the use of a target's action. Great to use if you are waiting for Low Blow to cool down. At level 22, you have Reprisal, a 5 yalm radius with a 60-second cast time and reduces damage dealt by nearby enemies by 10%. At 32, you get Arm's Length, a 120 recast time that creates a barrier, nullifying most knockback and draw-in effects for a duration of 6 seconds, and also has the additional effect of casting slow plus 20 when the barrier is struck on an enemy for 15 seconds. Finally, at level 48, we gain the ability Shirk, which is a 25 yalm, 120 recast time that diverts 25% of enmity to a target party member. So they've been working pretty... They've been working hard on this. Now then, let's move on to the actual tank actions. The actual moves for Dark Knight. Now then, a serious, as you can see, there's been some serious upgrades to Dark Knight. First and foremost, the introduction of the Dark Side gauge, which now indicates the duration of Dark Side. I will explain how this works now. Dark Side and Dark Arts have been reworked a shit ton, and so I will explain more about this in a little bit. First and foremost, let's talk about skills we've lost. First and foremost, Spinning Slash and Power Slash, which were originally combo actions, combo weapon skills, are now gone. We now have only one combo, which consists of Hard Slash, Siphon Strike, and Soul Eater. Again, we will talk more about that. Let's see. Next up, Blood Price has been removed in keeping with the times. Dark Passenger has also been removed. The Dark Arts ability has been removed, and finally the ability Soul Survivor. So those have all been removed. Now, we have, like I said earlier, we have a brand new gauge for Dark Knight. The right side timer indicates the duration. The timer indicates the duration of Dark Side, which increases damage dealt. Using Flood of Darkness or Edge of Darkness, which is acquired at level 40, grant Dark Side. Now the symbol on the bottom right of it indicates when the Dark Arts effect has been granted. Now, this occurs when the barrier applied by the action the Blackest Night has absorbed the full amount of damage. Flood of Darkness and Edge of Darkness can be performed by consuming Dark Arts instead of MP when the effect is active. And there's also a third timer, which I will talk about in a couple of seconds, in a few minutes. Let's talk about current ability changes, shall we? First and foremost, the level 1 the weapon skill Hard Slash's potency has been increased to 200 as opposed to 150. The combo potency of Siphon Strike has been increased to 300 from 250. The potency of Unleash has been increased to 150, so an increase of 100 points. You now receive Grit at level 10 as opposed to level 30. The damage taken and damage dealt effects have been removed. The level sorry. The spell Unmend now has the free Unleash proc has been removed, And the MP cost for Unmend has also been removed. Which is good, because I use Unmend like a lot. Blood Weapon, which was originally a level 18 ability, is now a level 35 ability. It still has a 60-second recast time, and it increases the blood gauge by 10 points and restores MP upon landing weapon skills or spells. The effect does not stack when hitting multiple targets with a single attack. The level Shadow Wall is now a level... Where is it? I'm trying to find it, sorry. Ah, there it is. Shadow Wall is now a level 38 ability as opposed to a level 46 ability. Dark Mind is now a level 45 ability as opposed to level 42. And its magic vulnerability reduction has been reduced to 20% as opposed to 30%. Salted Earth's recast time is now 90 seconds as opposed to 45, and its potency has been reduced from 75 to 60. Plunge can now be charged upon acquiring the level 78 trait, with a maximum of 2 charges. The ability Abyssal Drain now has a potency of 200 as opposed to its original 120. The enmity bonus has been removed. The healing effect has changed to restore your own HP with a cure potency of 200. Carve and Split's potency has increased to 450 as opposed to its original 100. The Dark Arts bonus has also been removed. Blood Spiller is now a level 62 ability as opposed to a level 68 ability. Its potency has been increased to 600 as opposed to 400, and the Grit and Dark Arts potency bonuses have been removed. Quietus now has a potency of 210 as opposed to 160. Its Dark Arts bonus has been removed, and its Restore MP effect has also been removed. The level 66 trait Enhanced Black Blood now allows for the blood gauge accumulation upon the landing of any weapon skill or spell while under the effect of Blood Weapon. The level 68 ability Delirium now allows for the ability Delirium is now a level 68 ability as opposed to a level 62 ability. It now has a 90-second recast time and allows for the execution of Quietus and Blood Spiller without cost, restoring MP when landing either weapon skill. Finally, the level 70 ability The Blackest Night creates a barrier around the target that absorbs damage totaling to 25% of the target's maximum HP for a duration of 7 seconds. When the barrier is completely absorbed, it grants the effect of Dark Arts. Let's look at some new abilities. First and foremost, like every tank in this expansion, we now have a level 1 trait, Tank Mastery, which reduces damage taken by 20%, and a bonus is granted to maximum HP based on your Vitality attribute, and a bonus to damage dealt based on your Strength attribute. At level 30, we now gain the ability Flood of Darkness, which deals unexpected damage with a potency of 250 to all enemies in a straight line before you. It also grants Dark Side for 30 seconds, increasing damage dealt by 10%. You can extend the Dark Side duration by 30 seconds for a maximum of 60. It shares a recast timer with Edge of Darkness. At level 40, we gain the aforementioned Edge of Darkness, which has a 3 yalm range, a recast time of 2 seconds, and an MP cost of 3000 MP, or free while under the effects of Dark Arts. It deals unexpected damage with a potency of 350, grants Dark Side for 30 seconds, increasing damage dealt, and you can extend the Dark Side duration by 30%. It shares a recast timer with Flood of Darkness. At level 72, we gain the ability Stalwart Soul. This is a 5 yalm radius attack that deals unexpected damage with a potency of 100 to all nearby enemies. It shares a combo with Unleash. So you cast Unleash and then Stalwart Soul, and boy does it look awesome. The combo potency is 160, and it has an additional effect of restoring MP and increasing the blood gauge by 20 points. At level 74, we gain the skills Flood of Shadow and Edge of Shadow, thanks to the trait thanks to the trait Dark Side Mastery, which upgrades Flood of Darkness and Edge of Darkness to Flood of Shadow and Edge of Shadow respectively. At level 76, we gain the ability Dark Missionary, a 15 yalm radius, 90-second recast time ability, which reduces magic damage taken by self and all nearby party members by 10% for a duration of 15 seconds. Man, does that look awesome. Finally, one of my favorite abilities... Oh, wait. I didn't... At level 78, we gain the trait Enhanced Plunge, which allows the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of Plunge for a maximum of 2 charges. And finally, one of my favorite abilities to use, and I was so stoked when I saw this on the job actions preview before this expansion came out, the level 80 ability Living Shadow. This is a 2-minute recast time that conjures a simulacrum of your dark side to fight alongside you. The simulacrum's attack potency is 300 for a duration of 24 seconds, and it costs 50 points of blood gauge to cast. Really fun abilities. A lot of play here with the whole dark side motif and Living Shadow to throw it all in together. It's really come into its own as a Dark Knight has really come into its own now with the release of Shadowbringers. They really it really does hit close to home. Now, let's not waste any more time and move on to the storyline. We've been through a lot. We've fought the darkness within us. We've fought with the darkness within. We fought against and with the darkness within. We learned our own brand of justice, and we've basically been on a long journey with Sidurgu and Riel, going around, and it's been pretty freaking crazy. Let's just not waste any more time and get right down to it with the level 80 quest, Our Closure. Ah, Chris. It so happens I have a letter for you. But before we talk about that, mind telling me what you've been getting yourself into lately? You and your scions, I mean. I've an inkling, perhaps. I went and saved another world as it happened. Come again? Reflections of the Source. Parallel worlds. Sin Eaters. What in the 7 hells are you on about? Something tells me this is only going to make any kind of sense if you walk me through it from the beginning, step by step. Let's explain. Right then. So, to sum up, you were swept up into yet another realm-shaking conflict, were you? Well, of course you were. You've an insatiable hunger for it, don't you? And even when you bite off more than you can chew, you refuse to let go. What? As if you didn't know. Hells, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I suspected you were a particular blend of impulse and stubborn. It takes a special kind of bastard to become a Dark Knight, much less a warrior of light, don't you think? You traveled onto a doomed world and pledged your sword to a futile cause. You fought, and you fought, and you fought, and in the end, you won the day. Though I know it wasn't without loss, without sacrifice. Victories like that are always bought with blood. But you and your comrades paid the price all the same. That faraway land and her people live on because you all were willing to fight to the bitter end. Because you were too stubborn to die.
And because of love, I'm sure.
And here we go again.
Being grim and dark will only get you so far, don't you remember? It's like the Mughals. Like Sir Ompang himself said. The flame in the abyss. The love you bear for the ones you hold most dear. That is the source of true strength. Chris could have never made it this far if his heart weren't filled to the brim with love.
Is this a roundabout way of asking me about my heart's desires? Let's not and say we did, eh? I'm sure that Thancred fellow you mentioned would provide a far more meaningful and interesting response. Having to look after the reincarnation of his surrogate daughter is certainly... Though I suppose on some level I can relate. What?
I've not once thought of you as my father.
Well, no, I mean, we're not even the same race, so of course no one would ever look at us and assume. What? If you want to put a label on it, then what would you prefer? Master and disciple? Manservant and noblewoman?
Sid. How about Chocobo's ass and whatever you damn well like? Gods, you can be so daft sometimes.
Hey! What did I tell you about running like that? Children, am I right? Best we give her a moment to cool her head. For now, let's talk about that letter I mentioned earlier. It's addressed to you, but who penned it I cannot say. It was delivered to me by a young woman of the Broom. Looney, I believe her name was. Said she'd seen us with you out and about in Ishgard before, and reckoned that if she left it with us, you'd eventually be around to pick it up. Before you ask, no, I have not taken a peek, so its contents remain a complete and utter mystery to me. As for the sender, you'll have to pester Looney at the Holy Stables if you want to know more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an angry girl to mollify. Shouldn't have pissed her off in the first place. Alright, let's read this letter. Within the sealed envelope is a paper, which you unfold to find a message written in a strangely familiar scrawl. Chris Valentine, you'll forgive me for the sudden correspondence and the secrecy. You helped me in a way, once upon a time. It's past time I said as much, and so, here we are. Feels like a lifetime ago, come to think on it. You've been through quite a lot since then. Accomplished incredible things. I'd like to think that, in some way, I was a part of your journey. Far from the best, no doubt. But for me and my own journey, I think it's safe to say that you've been... well, there's no suitable words to describe it, really. I've done things, made decisions. Looking back, I can't help but feel more than a little foolish. But such is life, and we have to seize what few opportunities we have for closure, even if it is through the written word and not face-to-face. So wherever you are, I hope you're happy. Still fighting, still adventuring, still doing what you love. Be well. The letter bears no signature or any obvious clues as to the author's identity. Perhaps Looney can shed some light on the mystery. Let's see. The Chocobo stables, huh? They're gonna make me run all the way through Foundation and probably the rest of Ishgard. Ugh. And stream manager, there we go. In here? No. There she is.
It's you! It's really you! Chris Valentine, my hero! Honestly, I never thought I'd get to see you again, much less speak with you. Hmm? Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't remember me at all, do you? I'm not surprised. All in a day's work, I suppose, saving silly little fools like me. And it was so long ago when you rescued me from those temple knights who were trying to take me away from my grandmother. I still remember it like it was yesterday, though. You swinging that great big sword of yours, bellowing all kinds of terrible threats and sending them running. I'm sure some might say you overdid it, but thanks to you, my grandmother and I never heard from that lot again. And ever since Sir Emmerich and his allies came into power, we've had a lot less of that trouble all over. But, let me guess, you didn't come all this way just to see me, did you?
Yeah, trying to figure out who this letter's from.
The letter, huh? I thought so. It wasn't me who wrote it, I can tell you that much. I got it from a knight I befriended after tending to his chocobo a couple of times. Sir Patronad. He said it was to be delivered to the hero of the Scions, a peerless warrior with 1,000 victories to his name. After he described your features in detail, it all fell into place. And since I was certain you'd eventually pay a visit to your friends, I offered to take it to them. Anyway, he's the one you need to talk to if you're after the sender. Maybe check the congregation? I mean, that's where knights congregate, I presume.
Okay, back to the congregation of our knights most heavenly. There he is. You. How may I be of service to you, Master Valentine? The letter. Oh, what a relief to see that it arrived unmolested. It was entrusted to me by Aurella of Rogger's Reach. After the battle at the Gimlet Dock, I spent a few nights there, you see. I can only assume that whoever sent it to the Reach had heard tell of the battle between you and Lord Xenos, and how you had been brought to the Barber. However, by the time it arrived, you had long since been spirited away to Ishgard. Had Looney not recognized you from my stories, I do not know how I might have seen it into your hand. If you seek the author, mayhap you should pay a visit to the Reach. I know only what I told you, but surely Aurella can tell you more. May the Fury watch over and keep you, friend. Oh my god, they're gonna send me on a wild goose chase. God damn it. Off to Rogger's Reach. At least here I can ride my mount. There you are. What's this? The document appears to be a list of men and women who died fighting for the Alamegan resistance, and whose remains have been interred in recompense. Among them, you recognize both Conrad Kemp and Meffred Noward. And Gallon. Dear Gallion. But of Hodart, there is no mention.
A pleasure to see you. Lost that long-haired boy of yours again?
Nope, just figuring out who sent this letter.
This is about the letter, is it? It came with a shipment of supplies from Little Alamigo, as I recall. I can only presume the sender was hoping that Commander Hex would see it to you personally, but I'm not surprised it escaped her notice given the chaos at the Gimlet Dock and after. It found its way into my medical supplies, and as you well know, I decided to let that Iscardian Knight take care of its delivery. In any event, I advise you to continue your search in Little Alamigo, and if anyone there knows aught of the letter's author, it would be Gundabald.
Alright, off to Little Alamigo. It's a good thing I have enough gil for all this. Watch, they're gonna send me to Lenosha. Gundabald's gonna send me to Lenosha. I have a feeling. Well met, Chris. I was not expecting a visit. What brings you to Southern Dunland this day? Please tell me you're the one who sent this letter, you say, and you seek the author? If you read it, then you know their heart, what you meant to them, how you changed their life for the better. It is a feeling I understand all too well, which is why I agreed to send the letter with the supplies for Rogger's Reach. Yet you never were one to let a mystery remain unsolved, were you? You seek answers, closure. I will not deny you this. At the Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lenosha, you will find a man named Godaherd. Speak with him. Perhaps then you will find a measure of peace. Gods. Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lenosha. It's a good thing we have Mount Speed 2 now. But honestly, though, this is getting a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, think of how many... It's like, think of how many dots we've had to connect so far. We got Sidurgo, we got the Forgotten Knight to the Chocobo Stables, the Chocobo Stables to... the Congregation to to Rogger's Reach, Rogger's Reach to Alamigo, Rogger's Reach to Little Alamigo to Red Rooster Stead. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they were deliberately doing this to pad this thing out. Oh no, it's over here. Wait, isn't he... Oh yeah, he's the guy that I frickin' yelled at. Oh gods, it's you! But why? Why are you here? Well, I'm looking... You really don't remember any of it? The Kikun bandits? A certain merchant who may have overstepped his bounds just a trifle. You're a right bloody mess when you return to the dry docks with my wares, and I do mean bloody. I say, is none of what I'm telling you ringing a bell? Really? Not even the part where I refused to thank you and demanded that you pay me restitution for the property you yourself returned to me? Well, seeing as I've already confessed it, I may as well reiterate, it was me. That was just the beginning of my bad luck, as it happens. A string of bad decisions left me in debt to some very unforgiving fellows, and before I knew it, they had taken damn near everything I owned. I was friendless, penniless, hopeless, and let me tell you, running afoul of the Warrior of Light had not done me any favors either. There was a time when I couldn't help but blame you for all my misfortune. And then, one day, when I was rummaging through my meager possessions, I had an epiphany. I stumbled upon a package from that shipment you recovered for me that ill-fated day. Flower bulbs, stained with Kikun blood, but viable for cultivation, still brimming with the potential to grow and thrive. Before I knew it, I was cradling the package to my breast, sobbing and moaning like a mad fool. For a fool is exactly what I had been. I had been offered a kindness without let or lien, and instead of thanking this generous hero, had spat in his face. So I left that life behind, save for the bulbs I brought with me here, apprenticed myself to the botanists, and resolved to start anew. And wouldn't you know it, the stubborn little fiends actually bloomed for me. I suppose it's only fitting that you'd show up again that very day. I have 1,000,000 regrets, but none greater than how I spoke to you. I say this not to beg your forgiveness, but to tell you how you've changed me for the better, and to thank you for the opportunity. I do have one request, if you're amenable to it. I pray you accept the flower, one of the precious few that have bloomed, a token of my heartfelt appreciation for my personal savior. Admittedly, this particular breed is perhaps best suited for funerals and farewells, but if you'd rather not keep it for yourself, perhaps there is someone who might welcome it. Frey. Someone else indeed. to the Kurthus Central Highlands. And switch to say as a preemptive. With the chat mode and say, use your keyboard or the software keyboard to enter any phrase which includes Frey to attract his attention. There is no response. Yet, there can be no answer but this, can there? So let us wait for a time, you and I. In the cold, and in the snow, in the dark. Clever, clever, clever. Or are we just playing by ear? No matter. I wanted this once. More than anything. A chance to speak and be heard. But neither of us needs it anymore. And if we were to look deep within ourselves, we would realize that we never did. We are the stories we tell ourselves. The brave hero, the tortured soul, the altruist, the pragmatist. They will tell you who they see, but you and you alone know who you are. For I speak only for myself. If you find comfort in my words, they are yours for the taking, but that is your choice, now and ever after, as it has always been. Now comes your part, to cloak yourself in the fiction, to breathe life into the dead, to give a voice to the voiceless. As we did together that day, when you gave us our answer. Was it ever mine? Definitely a proper piece of closure to that. But we should probably check up on the two lovebirds, huh?
I'm sure they're fine.
Welcome back, Chris. As you can see, Riel and I are getting along swimmingly, so you needn't worry about us in the slightest. Not one bit. So, what of that mysterious unsigned letter? Did your grand search for answers lead you anywhere interesting? Closure, perhaps? That's so. Well, glad to hear it, I suppose. And with that, we've unlocked the achievement A Dark Day's Night 4. And with it, something that's probably going to be my new favorite my new favorite title. We are now Chris Valentine, the Boundless Dark. Well, now I can change back into my other gear, which is glamored to the Bale gear anyway, so I needn't have bothered changing into it before the stream started. But anyways, it's now time to move on to other jobs and get some other things done while we're at it. But with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode of Cruisnick's Purgatory. Thank you to Arya Stormborn for joining us.
You're welcome, baby.
And thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, if you're watching this on Twitch or live at PlayStation and you like this show, click the follow button, be sure to turn on notifications so you're well informed, and be sure to subscribe to me for access to exclusive live streams and videos. If you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel by clicking here. Click here to watch more by me. Click here to watch the next episode when it comes out in the new expansion, and click here to watch the original Stormblood ending. Until next time, Cruisnick X signing out. Just a quick change of the... Where is it? There. I want to thank all of you for watching. I want to give a shout out to Stray for joining us. He went to bed pretty early. And I want to thank everyone who stuck by to the end. The next path of Questline will be the Path of the Machinist once I get it up to level 80, and I cannot wait to take a whack at this job. People have been saying it's an entirely different job now. So I look forward to getting that done and over with. I do plan on highlighting the rest of the videos sometime this week. I'm gonna try to get through it as best I can, but with work and everything, and I'm also trying to get some personal things done in my life, so it'll take me a fair bit of time. But seeing as how I've gotten through most of the path of quest lines, I can start highlighting those and uploading those as soon as I get the 5.1 stories completed. But feel free to stay tuned to Cruise Next Purgatory. Tomorrow night I might have a live stream, I'm not sure. Thursday night is my karaoke night, so obviously I won't be doing a stream then. And Friday we'll play it by ear. But once again, thank you all for watching. Feel free to follow me and subscribe to me on twitch.tv/KruznikX. If you want to watch any previous episodes of Final Fantasy XIV or any of the other games I played along the years, feel free to go to my YouTube page at youtube.com/KruznikXTTV. Follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/KruznikX. And like me on like Cruise Next Purgatory at facebook.com/KruzeNextPurgatory. For Arya Stormborn, we will see you all next time. KruznikX, signing out.